surgery, and Justin Tuck nicked up with the back. Jenkins gives them versatility, plus, they get to look at other guys on the inside.
Yeah, one thing about Colin Jenkins, he's a football player. He knows the defensive line position, and that's really what was lacking last year. 129 yards given up on the ground. Colin Jenkins has to be a big part of that going forward.
All right, we know in the running back position that David Wilson and Andre Brown are going to carry the load, but you need more than 2 running backs in the National Football League, and the Giants have proven over time that they like to use 3 and sometimes even 4. So running backs coach Gerald Ingram talked about the battle for the 3rd-string running back position.
There's some good, solid-looking young men that we're pretty excited about in that position. We've played, multiple backs here in the past, have had success with. We try to keep balance. One year we had Earth, Wind, and Fire. The 3rd guy always struggles. Depending on how the game goes, you may be able to get to use the 3rd guy as that speed transition guy in the 4th quarter or special play situations. But I think that 3rd guy is pretty excited about having an opportunity right now.
We saw how effective the Giants were when they had Ahmad Bradshaw, Brandon Jacobs, and Derek Ward.
Right.
Let's talk about the 3 guys that are battling for this spot. We'll start with Ryan Terrain, who was a 5th-round draft pick in 2008 of the Denver Broncos, played 2 years with the Giants. What are some of the things that he brings to the table that could make him valuable to this team?
Well, one thing about Ryan Terrain is he's a veteran. I mean, you go back to the 2010 season, he rushed for over 700 yards, so he's capable of getting it done. He's been a starter in the National Football League, so he's a guy that just knows how to play football, knows what's expected at that running back position.
All right, Darrell Scott was drafted by the Giants 2 years ago in the 7th round. Last year, he only played in 2 games and suffered a knee injury, but we saw at different points, especially in the preseason last year, some bursts out of Darrell Scott.
Yeah, well, you go back to a Bears preseason game a few years back where you had a 97 yards run, but the team and fans haven't really seen that since then. So this is a year where Darrell Scott really has to start to separate himself if he can, in fact, become that 3rd back.
And the Giants have had success in the late rounds when it comes to running backs, and this year in the 7th round they drafted Michael Cox out of UMass. And you know what? So far he's looked pretty good, not only special teams, but running the football. What have you seen from Michael Cox that you like or dislike?
Well, Michael Cox, being a young guy, being hungry, he's young in the system. He just has to learn the system, learn what to do. Obviously, the Giants have had some success with UMass players, as of recent with Victor Cruz, but just at that running back position, what's going to separate Michael Cox is if he can learn what to do early on. And we can't discount the fact that at the end of training camp, there might be a veteran out there who gets cut from another team who becomes a 3rd down back as well.
All right, another Giant news to start.